We're actually one thieving level short of what we need for the Temple of Ikov. If I look at our Temple of Ikov requirements down here, we can see that while we have the 40 ranged exactly, we need 42 thieving. Now thankfully, we have 41, and we can steal from these fruit stalls. So we're going to be stealing for this for one level. Shouldn't take long at all, only 4,000 experience. I'll see you in a little bit. And after pretty much no time at all, there is 42 thieving. Apparently running backwards and forwards is supposedly better than just standing in one side and stealing it there. Apparently it's a tick faster, so not too bad. That's the way to do it, of course. And also you get these strange fruit which can replenish 30 of your run energy, so they're kind of like a crappier energy potion, but at least it's in one bite as opposed to multiple doses. And the Golovanovo fruit, these can be used for our garden pies, some sort of pie anyway, so I'm not too sure. Where is our cooking tab? Right here. Where are our pies? Up the top. They are used for botanical pies, which I think boost your farming levels, so they might come in handy later on so that we can plant some trees once we get some seed. And speaking of trees, why don't we quickly check where our nests are at, and we can jump into tab 2, and why don't we open up some of these bird's nests that we've had for quite some time, shall we? See if we get lucky with any seeds. Acorns, good early farming, as is a banana and a maple, honestly, they're all pretty good. And in terms of our rings, honestly, all of these emerald rings are fantastic for rings of dueling, as while we have a whole bunch of games necklaces, 24 to be exact, we have very few dueling rings. In fact, we have 0, so why don't we add these to the stockpile? And then, and only then, will we go for the Temple of Ikov quest. Look at that. Shout out to one of our group team members, Cincotash there. Thank you very much there, mate. Greatly appreciated. 20 limpwort roots right in there. Also, we might be able to steal those for some later potions, maybe. Make those up a bit later on. Attack potions, strength potions. Probably courtesy of the Warriors Guild, of course. But for now, let's just keep going. And I did actually see some swordfish in there that we could steal as well. So maybe we'll yoink some of that later. Are we under 1 kg? We are absolutely under 1 kg. No worries whatsoever. We've also got our U short bow. So with everything else, with our prayer, with our bow, with our limbwort roots, we should have everything that we need to complete the Temple of Ikov quest. Now I did have a look at my desert treasure quest. That's going to be a bit trickier. So 12 magic logs are required. We need some steel bars, some molten glass. That's easy enough. Blood rune, I think we should have some of those left over. Hopefully we didn't ulk all of those. Beyond that, everything else is achievable, but we also need 50, that's right, 53 thieving. We currently have 42, of course, we just leveled it up. So what we might have to do is go back to that fruit stall, steal up to 45, and then from there do some blackjacking, which is actually a decent source of income as well. We steal a little wee bit of cash there to reach our final level of 53. Every other stat requirement we have, it's obviously a very long quest, it takes a bloody long time to get done, but you know, I think we can get it done probably in the next wee while. But first and foremost, Temple of Ikov. And here we have the entire reason for the U short bow, it is so that we can equip our ice arrows, which we currently have equipped, and now we can fight our fire warrior Lysarchus. 4 arrows left, 3 and 3, with pretty much no prayer left. We managed to make it through, however. So, not even close, not even close. And I also love how you can talk to her and basically appear, and the first thing you say is, I've got the limpwort roots, even though we've never spoken to this woman before in our life. You know, usually the dialogue is supposed to be that you don't have anything, you don't know what you're supposed to have. She tells you that she can make a teleportation scroll or something like that. But in this case, we just walk up to her and say, we've got limpwort roots, as if we were best buds and we knew exactly what she was going to ask us for. So, I mean, just that power of foresight once again. And here we have the completion of Temple of Ikov. 10,000 range experience, 8,000 fletching experience. This should give us a couple nice levels. So from 40 to 42 ranged, and from 30 to 34 fletching, I believe. Not bad at all. 1080 total level, very, very nice. And also 162 quest points. Come together very quickly here. I've run past this quest so many times while using the fairy rings, I might as well just get it out the way. That is, of course, our Tower of Life quest. Right in the corner here, I believe we just complete some puzzles. Runelight will make it take no time at all. Let's complete that, get it out the way, get another quest point or two, and then continue on with our Recipe for Disaster requirements. This is what you might consider awful game design in my mind. The fact that we've got to search these crates individually very, very slowly, and it's a lucky draw as to whether we get the item that we need or not. We know it's in this crate, but as we can see, we sometimes don't find things. Thankfully, the success chance seems pretty high, but we failed 2 out of about 9 searches, so it's not the best idea to add in something that requires, a little bit of RNG when you're just literally clicking to search a box. It just means that something that should really take 2 seconds now has to take a lot longer. Again, thankfully the success rate is high enough, but still, it doesn't really add any fun or flavour to the game whatsoever. It just feels like you're getting punished for no real reason. But then again, some of these quests were made a very, very long time ago. Awesome. Stage 2 of the quest, we've got to do more of the same, searching and trying to find the pipe. There's the completion of the Tower of Life quest. For a little bit of experience, nothing major, but another quest point in our journey. We do also have a medium task just down to the corner which requires this quest, which is a sword chick, I believe, which is a half swordfish, half chicken hybrid, which is kind of what this whole Tower of Life is about, making hybrid animals. Similar to what you'd find in Avatar, I suppose, but I'm just going to go knock that one out quickly and then we will continue onwards. So magic logs for desert treasure are actually very tricky to get, and I didn't realise how difficult they'd be to obtain. Some methods are through Slayer via Laren's keys, which allow us to open the wilderness chest for a 1 in 30 chance. Those drops do drop multiple logs, so we get it all in one go, but the keys are rare drops in any case from those Slayer monsters, so a little bit risky to go for that. Brimstone keys from Konar are also an option, but that's locked behind the 75 combat requirement to use Konar as a Slayer master. And that's still absolutely miles away, so I'm not going to go for that. I could decide to go straight for 75 woodcutting as I'm not far off, but that would still take a lot of time. So with all of that in mind, the only real viable option left for me is Wintertot, which is a higher drop rate for them the higher your woodcutting level is. As my woodcutting is 65, that means our drop rate is, okay. But still, I'm going to be looking to do Wintertot anyway at some case. We get some other good drops along the way, looking for that Tome of Fire, looking for that Dragon Axe, maybe we can get it earlier than Dagonoth Kings, for example. And yeah, just the piece of the equipment and anything else there would be absolutely fantastic. So I guess we're going to be trying out Wintertot here soon enough. And that's actually the reason why I'm picking up this warm clothing now, because all of this Clue Hunter garb and gloves and boots and everything count as warm clothing to reduce the damage over at Wintertot. And here are the Clue Hunter trousers. And here we find the Clue Hunter garb, and honestly this outfit looks pretty damn sick. I'll show you once we get the final piece, which I believe is the helmet and the cloak. That's all that we really need. We don't need the whole outfit. And yeah, see what it looks like then. And there we have the Clue Hunter cloak, just the helmet left to go. And here's the helmet that we've been looking for, which finishes off the whole piece, the whole outfit, and we'll see what this all looks like in one go. Doesn't that look pretty damn good? No complaints from me there whatsoever. I had a bit of a read through of the wiki, and as it turns out, while the Clue Hunter set does count as warm clothing, the Helm of Raedwald actually doesn't. Raedwald, whatever it's called. So unfortunately we can't use this. Even though it looks awesome, we have to give it up. But fortunately enough, another item that we have in the bank does, and that is the bear head. So we're going to be chucking this on and rocking that awesome piece of cosmetic wear there, and that allows us to take even less damage throughout the course of our Wintertot games. But as you can see, we've made it here. We have the 50 fire making requirements, so we're going to be going through these. No idea what to expect for our first few games. It's been a long time since I played Wintertot, but then again, it is a very, very easy minigame to get into and just drop and pick up every now and then. So wish us luck. As there is no oceanic world for Wintertot, I've decided to go for the German world. We're actually going to be hiding or showing none of our public chat, as the worlds here can get a little bit funky. We're going to be jumping in here. I usually sit around the east side, hide in this corner here, and then just start mining. We might turn on our game sounds a wee bit as well so that we can hear when we stop woodcutting. I don't know if we really care for the woodcutting down there, although it does show a bit of information, doesn't it? So we're just going to start off here, see how we fare, see what we get to, and fingers crossed we manage to get some quick levels. Missed the first level, but there it is, 35 fletching coming in. These levels are going to be coming in thick and fast, I'm sure. And as we can see, we have just the right amount of food, but I think that we might need a little bit more just in case we don't quite keep up or we get very unlucky with the damage. To be fair, we got absolutely hammered in the first half, and now we basically haven't been touched. So I guess it's just the luck of the game there every now and then. But as we can see, even now the experience per hour is absolutely stockpiling here, stacking up quickly. And it looks like choosing the German worlds was a decent one to go for, as we're able to get well past 1,000 points. That gives us a few more rolls on the Wintertot drop table. So we're going to be stockpiling those crates to begin with. And then of course later on we'll just throw them all out there, have a bit of an opening and see if we get lucky. There's 51 firemaking coming in, first game here. And there's our first completion. Didn't actually see what the experience drop was now, but I think it's 100 times your firemaking level, is it? So about 51k? No, excuse me, 5,100. Got a couple of tasks completed there, very, very nice. Head back to our bank, deposit our supply crate, pick up a whole bunch more food, rinse and repeat. You guys don't get to see this one, of course. And there's 52 firemaking coming in. It's so nice to see that every one of these pieces of kindling is giving us about 1.6% progress towards our next level, coming in thick and fast, as talked about. That turn of phrase I just realized, very interesting, very interesting. 53 firemaking coming in. You can see down the bottom here, I've put up all these so that you can see our progress. We get a little bit of construction experience, not a huge amount. A bit of fletching, goes by pretty fast these lower levels, so I think it's worth keeping. You know, the woodcutting levels aren't, the woodcutting experience is not to be snubbed either. It'll add up, and maybe if we don't get enough for our magic logs anyway, then the woodcutting experience that we can get can bring us closer to 75, which will allow us to cut them ourselves anyway. So honestly, doing Wintertot just seems good. We're training 4 different skills at the same time, and the trouts are not the best here, but they are kind of keeping us at bay for the most part. We do obviously lose quite a bit of inventory space in the early stages, but we could have come here earlier, but I didn't really want to be the same old path that every other Ironman took and went straight to Wintertot. I wanted to save it for a little bit later, and of course once you have some of these higher levels then you can get better items from it. 54 firemaking coming in. There's 36 fletching coming in. Decided to move our XP counters on to the right hand side here. Felt it was a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and it wasn't going to pop up every single time that a chat message appeared down here. So this is where it's going to sit from now. 36 fletching. Good progress. 55 firemaking. Feels like there's a few more people in this world, helping to subdue Wintertot, so we're not able to get the same crazy scores that we once were, but still decent experience, just maybe a few less rewards in our reward crate. But speaking of which, I think this might actually be our 5th one. Let me just check in the bank afterwards. And I feel like because the rewards are so important early on, that we will be, and there we go, Wintertot Novice for 5 completions. We're going to be opening them every 5, so why don't we see what we get out of that one? And fingers crossed we get something good. Now ideally I want to make it back in time for our next round, so we will just open these one after the other, nice and quick, see if we get lucky. So here's our 5 supply crates. I think this was our first one, so it goes in this order. So first supply crate, we get some emeralds, very nice for our ring of jewelings, mahogany seed, decent for a bit later, quirms for super strength. A bit of food, not terrible. The cash, of course, is great. Banana tree and some gold for experience there as well. Nothing fantastic, but I'll take it. Now back to the grind. There's 56 firemaking coming in. There's 57 firemaking. Oh, it's a good feeling when all of these are right next to a level up. Look at that. Woodcutting's nearly there. Fletching's nearly there. There's 58 firemaking. Construction's nearly there as well. That was our 4th, of course 9 out of 10 games. 10 game, we open up a few more chests. There's 37 fletching coming in. And there's our 10th Wintertot submission, Wintertot champion. We're getting those challenge tasks completed quite frequently here, but of course what we really want to see is one of them drop from one of our chests, one of our supply crates. So let's open up these next 5, see if we get lucky once more. I don't think I'll be sticking with this all the way if we don't get lucky over the next few while. Very nice, Pyromancer Garb, love it. And some Urt Leaves, good bit of herbal experience. Mithril Ore, bit of Pure Essence and Dynamite, also the Sapphires, and, well, I'll take it. 6,000 gold as well. I will take the next new piece of warm clothing. That's kind of reinvigorated my desire to stay around for a little bit longer, so we'll stick around, see what we get to. Another 5 chests at least, and then we'll consider what we're doing from there. There's 59 firemaking, 60 firemaking coming in, and there's 46 construction coming in. As mentioned, you do get a little bit of construction experience, not a huge amount, but it adds up. Same with our fletching, same with our woodcutting, but of course, firemaking is the big winner here, and we're actually just around the corner from our 38 fletching, so you might see that one soon too. There's 38 fletching. 61 fire making coming in. One more completion until we open another 5. Now I did see that the magic logs are variable in terms of their drop rate, but as long as you have 50 wood cutting, which we do have, as we can see here, as long as we have that, then we have a chance at our magic logs. The higher our wood cutting level, the greater the chance. So I think with 65 we should have a decent chance. So I still do think this is the best option for us to go for magic logs, but whether or not we want to stick around with it long term, or maybe we want to break it up with some questing in between, you know, we can start part of our recipe for disaster. We could look to complete our what's it called, Legends quest partially so that we can access the Karazi jungle. We will see, we will see. Maybe we'll get in the next one then, don't have to worry. I think we need 12 magic logs in total, maybe a bit more for some of our other quests, but we shall see. 15 games completed now, another 5 supply crates to open, let's see. Some rubies, okay. Some food and sapphires, not really anything of value there. A bunch of logs, but not the ones that we're looking for. Here's 62 fire making, 39 fletching coming in. There's 63 fire making. One of the longer games. Unfortunately, I actually ran out of food and HP, otherwise I could have stuck around and probably got closer to 1500, 1750, but as it was, we managed to get the 1250, so that's a few more item rolls in our chest. Alright, and there we have another 5 supply crates, bringing our total up to 20 completed winter tots, whatever you want to call it, winter totties. Let's open up these 5 anyway, let's leave that right behind. I think for my own sanity we're going to be leaving this behind as well for right now. We're very close to a woodcutting level, a few thousand experience, or maybe even less as we can see, but you know, the hunt for the magic logs can continue another time. We might go and do some quests there, break it up a little bit, you know. I don't really like those grinds, we just sit there doing one thing for 50 hours. Give me something 1 hour, something else a few hours later, you know, just change it up a wee bit, hey? But anyway, these 5 crates, what do we have? Okay, some toad flax seeds, I'm happy with that. A bit of gold, maple seed will be very nice. Maple logs, okay, we're looking for the magic logs. And we don't have them just yet, but honestly a decent haul, decent bit of cash there. That cash will come in handy later on as well. Of course, the more cash that we pick up from here, the closer we are to our dragon battle axe. We're still quite a ways off of that, but hey, happy with the outcome here nonetheless. But let's switch it up. No idea what we're going to be doing next, but stay tuned. Back to Hersidius, there is 61 cooking, 62 cooking coming in, the level 4 monkfish, 63 cooking, 64 cooking. There we have 65 cooking and can now make pineapple pizza, which is actually a decent one to make, and wine of Zamarok too. Again, pretty decent there, useful secondary for our, what do you call it, herb lore training of course, much later on. But as you can see, we've spent about an hour and 3/4, about 100 minutes there doing a bit of cooking. And actually I checked our Bant Experience plugin and it seems like we actually have enough for 66 as well. So that's with our raw salmon, that's with some of the other fish that we managed to pick up from Winter Todd as well. So the closer that we get to 70, the less or the fewer levels that we have to actually boost up to reach 70 for our stuffed snake, I believe it is, as a requirement for one of our recipe for disaster subquests. So I guess we just keep going here. And we will head back to Wintertot a little bit later on. I'm just doing some real life admin work stuff, you know, stuff on the side. So it's always good to have something that you can AFK that actually progresses some quests and, you know, your account anyway there. So that's what we're doing. We'll get back to Wintertot when I can apply a little bit more focus. But for right now, good to be getting these levels in for sure. And with our last inventory of fish, there is 66 cooking coming in. 70 is the requirement, but we should be able to boost up to it. It is boostable. The other stat requirements for Recipe for Disaster are 100, well, this is not a stat requirement, but 175 quest points. We get about 9 for completing the quest leading up to it, or the sub-quest, and then we get a few others for the quest leading up to it, of course. The prerequisites. Then, of course, we need 70 cooking, which we're going to boost up to. 48 agility, we already have that. 50 mining, we have that as well. 53 fishing, we're already there. 53 thieving is one that we're going to have to stack up a wee bit, so whether we go back to our fruit stalls and then do some blackjacking for an extra bit of cash, that could be quite nice. Of course, the Barrow's gloves themselves cost a wee bit of money, so we do need to save up a bit of money for that, as we only have about 30 or 40k left. 25 herb lore, nice and easy. 59 magic, which we're one level shy of, but we can boost there as well. 40 smithing has already been attained, 50 fire making, 40 ranged, 40 crafting, 10 fletching, and 36 wood cutting. So we have pretty much all of the stats required except for a boost with cooking and 11 more thieving levels. That's what we're going to be working towards the next wee while. But first and foremost, I'm in the mood for some more Wintertot. I want to get those magic logs. We need a fair few. Let's go back there and see if we get lucky this time, shall we? 64 fire making coming in with a smidge until our 66 wood cutting as well. I always hate when I record with that sidebar open, but there's 66 wood cutting, managed to close it this time. Missed the level, but there's 40 fletching coming in. I don't know how I missed it with these big things on screen, but apparently, you know, that's just how good I am. Another level miss, 65 fire making. I was actually just checking outside there because we're having a bit of a thunderstorm and some loud bangs next to us. So yeah, that's why I managed to miss that one. Maybe that's my excuse for missing the other earlier level 2, but I really can't blame it on that the whole time. But we're up to 3 supply crates. We'll open it with 2 more games and then see how we fare. Let's just keep on going. I'm really hoping that we can get those magic logs, but you know, a dragon axe, a pet, or a tome of fire. A tome of fire would be fantastic. I don't think we've actually had any burnt pages just yet, but I don't know the drop rate of them either, so maybe that's not the craziest thing in the world. Besides, I guess the burnt pages are not all that useful unless you've got the tome of fire anyway, so we shall see. We shall see. But thank you all for watching anyway. Another 5 chests coming in. Apologies there, I didn't actually manage to catch the end of the last game. My partner called me just as I was about to finish it off, but there we go. 25 Wintertot, kill count, subdue count, whatever you want to call it. Let's open it up, see if we get lucky. Okay, some extra salmon, dynamite, some extra gems, not too bad, but a cash. Emeralds are always welcome. Earth seeds okay. Honestly, pretty trash rewards there. We keep going, we keep going. We're getting high level gems, and even though our crafting's not that high, but our high level logs are not so lucky. I mean, we have had some teaks, I think we've even had some mahogany, but we're not really that close. We're getting some cash as well through this, 50k, and I think we're looking for around about 130k is roughly the price of Barrow's Glove, if my Barrow's Gloves, excuse me, if my memory serves me correctly. So, you know, stacking up that cash between now and then is good, but also we need 200k for our Dragon Battle Axe, so we're looking for anywhere between, well, upwards of 330k, I guess. But most importantly, of course, are those magic logs. Will I get them? I don't know, you'll have to find out in the next episode. Thank you all very much for watching. You've all been fantastic, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now there, folks.